Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Dick Storks and Destinies. I'm your host, Chapel, and today I'm here with the Kid and Crash, and we're talking about the history of Halloween.
No, I'm just on here so I don't get fined.
Fined?
So you don't get fined. Why the
Yeah,
fuck did you get fined?
You remember Marshawn Lynch at the Super Bowl? I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Oh, you're just there so you don't get fined.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my community service.
Right. You're on here because you miss us.
Hey, I was on here last week. I don't know where you was at.
In court.
Oh, that's not what I was going to say. They was playing with handcuffs, all right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No. There was no handcuffs. There was no nothing. It was just court. I wasn't even the guilty party. That's the shocking part of it all.
Well, I need to talk to you about that. Ask how that went, but we'll do that later.
Okay. Well, let's get started on the history of Halloween.
Sounds good. Do we want to get started at the beginning?
Well, I mean, it's better than nothing.
History works, right? You start at the beginning because you don't go to the end. You start at the front and work your way to the present. Start at the front, work your way to the back. I mean, whatever floats your boat. Let's see here.
A feather tickling your ass.
Gotta get the show started. So there's two holidays that kind of start the whole Halloween thing. The first one is Samhain, which is spelled Samhain, but it's pronounced Samhain.
Well, before it was pronounced Samhain, it was pronounced Samhain. So that's the shit that fucking irritates me. And then it wasn't until later on, then they're like, oh no, that's not how it's meant to be pronounced. It's pronounced Samhain. And I'm like, then fucking change your spelling.
Yeah. And the thing is they say it's supposed to be pronounced Samhain, but the Christian people who came in and wrote stuff like that, they were pretty accurate when it came to like the Celtics and the Druids and stuff. They didn't write a bunch of lies. So if it was supposed to be pronounced Samhain, we would have had a proper translation there.
Right.
Did you say the Druids like in Star Wars?
No.
There's Druids in Star Wars? Star Trek. Oh, yeah. Poor Crash.
Oh,
poor Crash.
That is one thing that there is not. There is not space druids in any of that. I'm pretty sure Chapel has already gotten the meme like 500 times from me. From all you've got is the cast of like the new Star Trek: The Next Generation and Lord of the Rings, and it says Goblin, Space Goblin.
Yeah. It's all the same. I mean, anyway, so at that time, in the Celtic religion, druids were like their priests. But then you also, and that dates back to what we understand. The first written account was around the 8th century, which would be like 7 AD. But it was already an established festival and had been for many years at that point.
That was an established festival all the way up till Christianity took over.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. That the Christians were the first ones that wrote it down, and
Right.
it was like already an established thing when Rome like took over the Britain Isles or the British Isles, not the British Isles. They took over basically England, Ireland, and Scotland. But on the flip side of that, in Asia, we have a similar festival that starts at around uh, 4 BC. That's just called Ghost Day. It's the day it falls on is different because it falls on the 15th day of the 7th lunar month. So it's never the same day, but it starts around the same time.
Yeah. And then you've got, I don't know when it comes in, but when Christianity actually kicks into full swing, you had what was known as All Saints Day.
Yeah, that okay, so
I've seen that movie.
Not a movie.
It is.
I mean, it is a movie, but not that type of movie.
we thank you, Crash. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
We would be lost without you.
So
I'm lost with me, so you know.
Yeah, have you ever noticed, Chapel, that sometimes our podcasts are like you and I back in the day playing Magic the Gathering, and Crash is sitting there going, "Ooh, shiny! Ooh, shiny!"
he's almost like who's that?
James Woods.
James
from
Woods.
Family Guy.
Yeah. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
Hey, if you had candy, I'd done that, but you had no candy.
That's kind of a disappointment because this is about the history of Halloween. We should probably have some candy here.
Yeah, well, I mean, can't all have it all. Maybe one day, when we're able to have this podcast in a nice studio and sitting around and laughing, joking, cutting up, we might be able to have some candy going on.
Yeah. I can see it now. Crash will make a joke. Mrs. Crash will be like, "Oh God, no." We'll be laughing, and I'll be like, "Here, have some candy."
Ooh, piece of candy.
So,
But Samhain, Ghost Day, All Saints Day, then All Hallows Eve came in before All Saints Day.
well,
And basically,
funny enough, All Hallows Eve is a combination of like 3 associated Christian like observances of people, and they kind of All Hallows Eve kind of involves all 3 of those consecutive days in a row, which is October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd.
so that's the reason why it throws in Day of the Dead.
Yes, because in my research, because I thought Day of the Dead was its own thing and separate, and I was wanting to talk about the way I suspect the synchronicities of all of those holidays coming about around the same time in the world was kind of suspect to me. But as it turns out, Day of the Dead was actually very much influenced by All Hallows Eve, or at least they believe so. There is some speculation that the Aztecs did have a holiday that was very similar to Halloween, and with the association of ghosts and visitations from the spirits of the dead that happened between October 20th and November 3rd, but they don't have any solid proof of that actually being a thing.
No, that's the thing is, Samhain or Samhain or whatever you want to call it is basically the rundown of where they say the veil that separates our world from the world of the dead is at its thinnest, and spirits can, come and visit, cross over, so on and so forth, yada yada yada.
Right.
And
Which,
also with that, that's the reason why that, they use bonfires and, or I wouldn't really call it mass, but they put shit out to ward off against evil spirits from visiting.
yeah.
Which to me, I just find this as another funny thing that most people want to fucking go on about, and this comes into some Christian faiths and beliefs that Halloween is just the night of the devil and yada yada yada. What they don't realize is their own recorded history. They took over for whatever the Celtics and
Well, funny enough, the Romans took it over first. So the originally when the Romans invaded and took over, what they did was they combined Samhain with one of their holidays, which was for the harvest. Okay, let's see here. And let's see. No, no, no. I believe. So the goddess Pomona in the Roman pantheon was the goddess of fruits and the harvest, and they had her holiday pretty close to Samhain. So what they did was they just kind of took over the Samhain holiday, had it as the Feast of Pomona, and that's also where you get the bobbing of apples from. Is That's how far back that goes.
well,
Um,
that's the thing is about Samhain. Samhain is in Celtic lore and everything else. It's just the end of harvest season whenever the land dies and everything goes back to.
well, no, they would. So from what I understand, they would make great bonfires at the top of hills,
Mhm.
and at night you dressed up as vengeful spirits and spirits of the dead, so that the actual spirits of the dead did not come and take you, because they believed that the dead could be out there roaming and would take people back with them if they could. Um, there's some very dark intricacies with Samhain.
There is.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
and the thing is there was a lot of overlap with the celebration of Pomona's um, rites. That in the evenings their stuff was very similar to Samhain in a lot of ways, so it was a really easy overlap of the two holidays that combined together. And then around uh let's see. Nope, nope. Around the time of All Saints Day, which um so All Saints Day is the Feast of All Saints, All Hallows Day, and the Feast of Hallows, um, Solemnity of All Saints, and Hallowmass. So that's like a single holiday that lasts over a week.
Dang, we only get 1 day.
I know, right? That's a lot of candy that we're
technically-
missing out
well,
on, and I want to know
technically
where
we
our candy went.
Technically, we get 2 days, but we only celebrate one.
No, if you go to the stores now, they have Halloween and Christmas already out. So
Yeah.
they're like,
Oh, that's the thing with this history of Halloween that irritates the living fuck out of me. October is meant to be basically the month of Halloween, but Christmas seems to fucking overshadow everything.
yeah, even Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's like, can we not get to Thanksgiving
Like
first?
as soon as July 4th is done and over with in America, it's like, yeah, fuck every other holiday in between the 4th and Christmas. Christmas now comes in.
Yeah.
You're stepping on fucking holidays and traditions that have been around a hell of a lot longer than Christmas has. In all technicality, Halloween was here first before Christmas.
Yeah.
And even Christmas isn't even Christmas. Christmas is an amalgamation of several, just like Halloween, it's an amalgamation of several fucking festivities and religious practices and holidays all thrown into one.
Yeah. And the thing is a lot of people forget that the Romans were around for a few hundred years. So let's see. All Saints Day became a thing in 731, which is the 8th century.
And I bet you candy corn was invented around that time too.
I would say 732 is when candy corn was invented.
Since you guys are going to speculate, I'm actually going to look it up.
Because that's
Candy corn is technically one of the first candies created for Halloween.
It was candy corn was already a candy when Halloween got really big.
And that's the only corn that you can chew up and it don't come out whole.
Because candy corn was originally just a candy called chicken feed, and it came out in the 1880s.
And it probably tastes like chicken feed.
Came out in the 1880s, and that's the reason why it fucking still tastes like it comes from the 1880s.
Hey,
the recipe
candy corn.
The recipe hasn't changed in over 200 years.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it has, because the original. Well, no, the original recipe would be
get more of the chalky flavored into it.
I think the original recipe is considered not open source. What's the word I'm looking for?
Garbage?
The devil?
No, and no. No, it's not the devil. Calm down
it's
there.
Not garbage that you're not looking for.
Correct. It's not garbage that I'm looking for.
Hey, was the pumpkins made the same time?
No. Actually, jack-o'-lanterns were at first gourds.
No, I was talking about the candy.
Oh,
that's something new that just came out in the last. Oh my gosh!
Sure, because it's probably still the same taste as the candy corn.
They're the same candy. They're just in a pumpkin shape.
Exactly. So they made candy corn in 1880. Then by 1930, they're like, we need.
Actually, you're not wrong. Actually, you're dead on the year. The year was 1930. In 1930, the company that makes candy corn saw how much candy was getting sold at Halloween, and they were like, we could just make exclusively this candy for Halloween, sell it then, and we'd make all of our money back. We'd make that and a lot of profit too, and that's what they did.
I just took a guess on the year of that because
So
around that time they didn't have no flavor, and they still don't have no flavor. And we're 2024. It's like add some droppage or something.
It's just sugar.
Yeah,
Take
it's
out
just
the
sugar.
chalk, add some flavor droppage. You can add flavor to sugar.
You're right. You can add an acid of flavor to
They
sugar.
put stuff in it to make it orange.
That's dye.
Exactly. You can do the same thing with flavor.
Are you done
And
now?
that's why the only person that eats candy corn in this house is the wife. She can have all the candy corn she wants.
Candy corn really fucked him over as a kid.
Here's some candy. That's not candy.
Funny enough, I think your
want my
taste
money
buds
back.
are just destroyed because candy corn, the flavor of candy corn is based off of sugar, honey, butter, and vanilla.
And why does it taste like chalk?
I don't know. Maybe
'Cause
you're
it's
getting
from the-
stale
it's 'cause-
candy corn.
It's because it's from the 1880s.
They
They
didn't
made
have,
an ass load. They made an ass load of it then, and it's just a surplus that just keeps getting rolled over.
They're like, we made so much, we didn't sell a whole lot. Yeah, we'll just keep it till next year. It'll be good.
It's like Tootsie Roll. Tootsie
I
Rolls are
love.
like 10 years
Exactly.
old.
They don't go out date.
So, listeners, you heard it here first. The conspiracy theory that Kid and Crash have come up with is that candy corn was all made at one time in the 1800s, and has been slowly being sold off every Halloween since then, for over 100
think
years
about
now.
Here it is. If you think about it, candy corn is like coal at Christmas. You've been bad at Halloween, you get candy corn. You're bad at Christmas, you get a lump of coal. I'd rather have the coal because it probably has a better taste.
Okay, we've jumped several hundred years forward in the process of the history of Halloween. let's go back.
Okay.
Just know, candy corn is the devil.
We know.
That's also from last week. Candy corn is the devil. Here, have some corn. I don't want corn. Not even in candy form.
Especially not in candy form.
Yeah, because the other, you can add stuff to it and make it taste better. You cannot, because it's already been made. You cannot add stuff to it to make it taste better. If you put candy corn on ice cream, you might as well just throw the ice cream away because you ruined it for the day.
I told you, candy corn hurt him as a kid.
All right, where was we?
I was waiting to see if you were done.
Yeah, for now. You can say the rant. I had to vent a little bit
Yeah.
to let the people know. You can eat the candy corn. I don't care. But it is the devil.
So
That's the topic of this
no,
podcast.
it's
today.
not.
Candy
It's
corn,
not. No,
Candy
no, it's
corn
not.
is the devil.
It's not. It's not.
You can put the history of Halloween splash. Candy corn is the devil.
is the devil.
You can put my name beside of it in parentheses.
Featuring Crash as candy corn is the devil.
Under notes, like, do you have any special notes you want to put up for this episode? Under notes is going to be candy corn is the devil in quotation marks. Crash 2024. Okay, we got you quoted on that. You good now?
Okay, we're good.
All right. So we were talking about the Roman Empire took over
Yep.
Samhain.
Yeah, you said 731.
Yeah. And 732 was actually April 12th, 732 was when they dedicated All Saints Day. And then, so funny enough, the jack o' lantern was what I was going to talk about next. And yeah, you were right. It started out as like gourds, and there was something else that they used. Turnips. They hollowed out turnips and gourds, and they would make like little faces on them and put candles inside.
I mean, we didn't really go far by taking it away from gourds and turnips and putting it into pumpkins.
Well, part of the reason we have it here so predominantly is during the Great Potato Famine, we had a lot of Scottish and Irish immigrants, and they brought that holiday with them over here. And then because they didn't have ready access to like turnips and gourds the way they do over there, they used pumpkins instead, because pumpkin's a big, vegetable that you can actually hollow out and make a nice jack-o'-lantern out of. And it was a lot more room. They can make a bigger face. They can do more with it. So it made it a lot more fun for the kids, because you needed something for the kids to do. They couldn't be out, wandering the streets all hours of the night. It's like, go home,
No,
make a
because
jack-o'-lantern.
some evil spirit would come along and snatch them up and murder them. And
we had all kinds of stuff. I mean, eventually I want to talk about some of the serial killers we've had. And there's one in particular, I can't remember his flipping name at the moment. But he was one of the earliest serial killers that we had. What was his name?
Michael Myers.
No, it wasn't. Oh my God.
Jason. Freddy Krueger. Was it Chucky?
Sure, it was the doll.
Pennywise.
No.
Why don't you Google it?
That's what I'm trying to do. No.
Jack the Ripper?
No, Jack the Ripper went after prostitutes.
Yeah, no, the one I'm talking about went after children.
The Headless Horseman.
No. Although that
Was it the Three Witches from Hocus Pocus?
No, it wasn't. the story of the Headless Horseman did originate like in early
It originated in early Halloween history.
Yeah, it did.
He was basically one of the evil spirits that everyone feared.
Yeah.
Because they probably set out candy corn.
Oh, I think that should be the next fucking episode, Chapel.
Albert Fish is who I'm thinking about.
It's either that or pumpkin spice. Because when it starts getting close to October, pumpkin spice everything.
Yeah,
Like,
pumpkin
wow.
spice really isn't a Halloween thing. It's more of a fall thing.
Yeah, that's a seasonal thing. That's like a whole 3 months worth of stuff. But
Well,
no,
it's the same category as candy corn. It's the devil.
Tell your wife that.
She don't do pumpkin spice, so we're good.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah.
So,
Albert Fish, serial killer.
yeah, no, Albert Fish was who I was talking about, and he targeted young, like, children. So, anyway, we're off topic again. Going back, so around 700 was, or I'm sorry, around 732 was when we had All Saints Day. That became the Day of the Dead in Mexico, and it kind of spread out from there. The celebration of the Ghost Festival, which has a lot of different names because it's spread out through all of Asia for the same holiday. Doesn't it came about in the same year, or around the same year, but did not come about on the same like day. It's usually around mid to late August, early September. So like last year it was August 30th. This year it was August 18th. Next year it'll be September 6th. But it has to do with the rotation of the moon.
That's I started to say that's a lunar holiday.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing of All Hallows Eve, All Saints Day, Samhain, and Day of the Dead. As you stated, as you mentioned earlier, all this shit used to be a straight up 7-day event where we had so many different things going on to the very end of 7 days.
Yeah.
And now in actually it's been I would say present times, but I think this happened like in the I want to say around about the 1930s is whenever Halloween got shortened down along all these festivals and events all got shortened down to a 2-day period. Yeah. Which is October 31st and November 1st.
Well, funny.
31st is Halloween, and the 1st is the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, and the reason for it shortening is actually on America. So during the Great Depression, we had so many children that were going around, and instead of getting like, because initially, they didn't get treats or anything like that. It was just, go out, have fun. And what they were doing was they were starting to vandalize stuff because they had nothing to do. And it would continually to grow out of control. And you would have like these kids who were committing like violent crimes. And so they were like, we need, basically you had communities that were like, we need to make this more of a community thing. We don't want to get rid of the holiday. We want to give our kids something to do, but we also don't want them to be in trouble.
So that's the origin of trick or treating.
Yeah, actually.
They was vandalizing because I gave them that nasty candy.
Well,
there
no,
was no
so
treat, so it was tricking.
Yeah,
so
trick or treat.
originally,
Here's your bowl of dirt.
so originally
Sorry,
they
we
would,
ain't got no money.
yeah, so originally they would show up and they would be dressed up and they would repeat like a verse or something from the Bible, and they would get like a little bit of money, which was really valuable back then. Like even a penny was super valuable back then because you could buy a lot with a penny back in the 30s.
Nowadays,
Or they
if
would
penny
get like,
gets fuller, you're like,
yeah, or they would
oh.
get like some fruit or some small like baked treat.
A small baked goods.
Yeah,
fruits.
and then during the Great Depression, nobody could afford to give them anything, so they just kind of went crazy, and that happened like 2 or 3 years in a row, and the communities were like, we can't be having this anymore. So trick or treating literally came about from that. It was, give us a treat or we're going to play a trick on you, and usually it's like we're just going to egg your house, something harmless. Because what they, when I say,
they didn't have the eggs to throw.
yeah, well, see, like when I say they were committing violent crimes, I mean like they were throwing rocks through windows. They were like setting places on fire. Like it was getting like, it's kind of like, come on, man, it's the 30s.
Oh,
I mean, they wouldn't pull that in Chicago, but
how trick or treating escalated.
Yeah.
Violent crimes, throwing rocks through windows, setting houses on fire. Instead of knocking on the door, ringing a doorbell, and shouting trick or treat, hey, trick or treat, you don't give a treat, we set your house on fire.
Yeah. Well,
right. It's not even the bag of flaming dog poo.
I mean, yeah, even a bag of flaming dog poo is pretty tame by comparison to setting someone's house on fire. So they cut that back, and that's, it started with people making like homemade candies and stuff like that and homemade treats. And then like the candy businesses were like, hey, we will make like little packaged candies for you to give out at Halloween. And that way you don't have to go through all the work of making the stuff for these kids. And that's how trick-or-treating has really come about.
Trick-or-treating industrialized the candy revolution.
True. If anything, the candy the candy industry revolutionized like home protection from people trying to vandalize your home because you don't have something for them.
Snickers.
Nothing says stop an intruder like the fun size Snickers.
Yeah.
I'm going to the house that gives you the regular size candy bars.
Yeah.
Nothing says home security from random acts of violence like Snickers. Because you're not you when you're hungry. Eat a Snickers.
Why did you set Mrs. Beldevere's house on fire? I was hungry.
That wasn't me.
Yeah. That wasn't me. That was James. That's your name. No, I'm Jimmy. James is the main one.
Yeah.
So, in addition to this, we also have, like I said, we have Ghost Day that came about around the 3rd century. And that has developed into like a lot of different religions that all kind of revolve around July 15th to August with the lunar calendar.
Is that when you make your sacrifice? You gotta be a virgin to make your sacrifice.
You know what, Crash? No. No, that's not how this happens. No. That's. Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're just like,
Different
yeah, I
time.
was just making sure.
Yeah. Knew that all along.
Funny enough, this was initially a Buddhist holiday. And in Japan, it's called Obon. But then we have another holiday that's kind of Halloween adjacent. It's called Gayatra from Nepal, but its origin started in 1641 when the king, his son had died in an accident with a few other people, and the king had made the holiday to help the queen and the families of the ones who had died kind of deal with their grieving process. And that's all that I have, though. Do you have any input you want to put in, kid? I know what. I don't know. I know what your input is, Crash. You want to give your input one more time?
Yeah. Give me good candy and I won't burn your house down.
Take note, listeners. Do not give Crash candy corn, or burning your house down is going to be the least of your problems.
And I'm covered with the insurance policy.
That's right. Equal opportunity insurance.
That's like when I hung out with Joe Kurz.
Oh,
one
yeah.
Halloween. All I wanted was candy, and him and his ex got in a fight. I was like, God dang, I just want some Starburst.
Yeah, because isn't Kurz, isn't he's allergic to like chocolate, isn't he?
I don't think so.
No, I remember.
He might be.
Yeah, I remember that being a thing. He's allergic to chocolate, which has got to suck.
Right, because there's a lot of good stuff covered in chocolate.
There is a lot of good stuff covered in chocolate. Yeah. Covered in chocolate.
The thing I hate is that Butterfinger changed their flavor profile on their candy bar to where you get more of a peanut taste.
Yeah.
Than what it was before.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still eat a Butterfinger, but it's not like I used to.
It's not the same.
Exactly. I think we lost the kid.
I think we did too.
He's muted at the moment.
Yeah, he's got something going on.
So he probably picking his load up. Or dropping his load off.
He's dropping a load. What a surprise.
Now, remind you, our next one is what is today? Oh, I can make the 15th.
Yeah.
The 22nd, I won't be on.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're recording on the 8th. Our next one, and if you're listening to this, it's the earliest you'll be listening to it is the 9th of October.
Yeah, give me a minute, guys.
Yeah, you're good.
He had to go to work. What a loser.
So
Speaking of somebody that just came off work.
yeah, no kidding. So yeah, we've got 3 more. Next episodes will be out on the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th.
Yeah, because I got some training starting the 21st, so I had to stay after work. And I won't be
Gotcha.
off work till about 10 o'clock that morning. Every morning. So I'll go in 11 at night and be off by 10.
Oof. I feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. For actually that whole week. So roughly from my classes start at 7:30, ends at 10. So 2.5 hours over every day. Hope they have snacks. And it better not be candy corn.
Yeah, no kidding.
That warehouse you'll see on the news, warehouse burnt down.
Yeah.
What happened? They gave me candy corn. I lost it.
Listen. Taking the bowl of candy corn and throwing it across the room, not acceptable, but I understand. Burning down the facility, unacceptable. Absolutely. I don't even understand. I don't even try to understand. I can see your boss saying that to you.
What happened? Wasn't me.
Yeah. It was.
Everybody says it was you. No, it wasn't me.
My name's Jeff. I saw Jeffrey do it.
Yeah. Yeah, did we stop recording?
No, we're still recording.
Oh.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. We're probably going to put it to an end here, and we will talk to you later. Have a good one.
See ya.